Make no mistake about it, an eraser is a school kid's best friend. And up until the computer came along, draftsmen and accountants alike relied upon this simple device to make their work presentable. But despite seeming outdated, wherever there's a pencil, its little rubber friend will never be far away. In 1736, a French explorer observed South American natives using tree resin to make bouncing balls. He brought this resin back home, and before long, Europeans discovered it could rub out lead pencil marks, hence the term rubber. There was just one problem. After a while, rubber would rot. That dilemma was solved a century later by one Charles Goodyear, who developed a curing process to keep rubber from rotting. A simple pink eraser takes a fair few ingredients to make it. Carefully measured fillers, accelerators, curing agents, oils, colouring, and the main ingredient, synthetic rubber. It all starts by a batch of rubber being put into a mill. The rubber passes repeatedly between large heated rollers. Defective erasers from the last production run are recycled too. Sulphur is added as a curing agent, along with accelerators to help the sulphur do its job, plus some red colouring. Everything is blended together for 5 to 10 minutes until the mixture is the consistency of heavy dough. Next up comes vulcanized vegetable oil that's been treated with sulfur and calcium carbonate. When the colour and thickness is just right, workers remove the rubber, which by now is hot and soft as a result of the milling. It's left to cool and harden at room temperature for about half a day. When the rubber's ready, it's cut out into large squares, each weighing between 5 and 8 kilograms, depending on the thickness of the eraser the client has ordered. The squares go into a steam-heated press to cure for about 20 minutes at 163 degrees Celsius. The pressure compacts the rubber, while the intense heat hardens it. Any excess is trimmed off, and then the hot rubber squares are submerged in cold water to stop the curing process. To make rubbers that erase both lead and ink, beveled strips are cut from 2 batches of rubber, one pink and one blue. The blue contains pumice, which gives the eraser extra abrasiveness to rub out ink. Then it's off to the steam press. After 12 minutes, workers remove the trays, trim off the excess, and submerge the strips in cold water to stop the curing process. Then an automated machine chops the strips into pieces the size of erasers. Now back to the all-pink erasers. The rubber squares come out of their cold water bath and go through a machine that cuts strips with beveled edges, then chops the strips into erasers. From there, the erasers drop into a giant barrel. Workers throw in some talc to prevent them from sticking together, then set the barrel spinning for 5 hours. As the erasers tumble against each other, the abrasion rounds off their edges. The last step is printing. A machine stamps each eraser with the company name and the model number. It's not the rubber that gives the eraser the ability to erase, but rather the vulcanized vegetable oil that's in it. That's what makes the eraser crumble when rubbed on paper, taking away the pencil marks with it. Now, if only we can invent one that erases mistakes made in life.